Good morning. Thank you for being patient as I get everything set up so that I can see your comments. Looks like we have a couple people here already. I'm going to actually turn my iPad off so that we don't get a um, echo. Hopefully, there's not an echo this week. I think that I had my phone turned on and my computer last time. So I think that was why we were getting an echo. So um, thank you for joining me. Good morning, Becky. Thanks for joining again. Um, I wanted to start out with prizes because I really appreciate the way that I can grow this business is with you sharing, with you commenting, and with purchases. And so I did pick out some prizes like I said I was going to. Um, First of all, for those who commented, I put all of your names into a drawing, and I ended up picking Robin. Um, so, Robin Schilke, you are going to be winning this Heal Your Heart stamp set, which is a celebration stamp set. We're going to be using this today, so I thought it would be a great prize to give away. Actually, that's for placing an order. I'm sorry, I messed up here. That is for placing an order. Um, for commenting, you are going to be winning the cards that we made last week. So this card and this card. Actually, I didn't pay real close attention to that event that I was in last week. And there was actually a competition with the swap cards at that event. And this swap card that I submitted actually ended up winning first place. And so I won some, I think I won the Opal rounds and some, I think foil paper, some of the Love You All, Love Always foil paper. So it was kind of exciting. So for commenting last week, I have Jean, I'm going to murder your last name, I think, Sluss Creed from Michigan. So, Jean, I do not have your address. So, if you could send me a private message with your address, I will get these in the mail to you. Hi, Kathy Miller. Thanks for joining. And then for sharing, like I said, to grow this business, I need people to share what I am doing. And so last week, many of you shared. I put all your names into a drawing. And I know that you had to have shared because there were people that were watching my video that I have never met before. I have never even heard of before. So thank you for joining in. I really, really appreciate it. This week for sharing is Karen Wetstein. So, Karen, I do not have your address. Oh, you just tuned in. Congratulations. You are winning this. It is the hydrangea, gorgeous grape ribbon that I will be sending to you. So, send me a personal message or send me text message or email, and I will get this off in the mail to you this week. Congratulations, Karen. And thank you all for sharing. If you wouldn't mind sharing again today, I would really, really appreciate it. Like I said, that's how I grow my business. So I am going to, because I like to keep this to about a half an hour, and I'm already 5 minutes in, I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera around and start stamping. Give me a second here to just to flip it. There we go. And I'm going to get back to my comments. I will do my best to try to follow the comments along the way. But once I start stamping, sometimes it's harder to follow the comments. So just want to make sure that you are seeing my flipped screen, that I did this right. I have a little bit of a delay in what I'm watching. So today, I am featuring the Dandy Garden bundle, the suite actually. In particular, the Garden Wishes and the Dandy Wishes die. And I'm doing this because right now, for the month of January, I have a special going that anyone who purchases this bundle, which the bundle is $51.25, you would qualify for a celebration item. And so I'm pairing it today with the celebration item, Heal Your Heart. And so if you order this, you not only get this from Stampin' Up! Or whichever celebration item you would like, but you will also, from me as a gift this month, you will get either a spool of this Dandy Garden Mossy Meadow braided linen trim. Lila is saying hello to you in the background. I apologize for that. Of course, she was completely quiet till I started talking to you. So the Dandy Garden trim, or you can choose the Ladybug trinkets. So if you place an order and that order includes the Garden Wishes bundle, you can pick a celebration item, and then you can also let me know which of these two items you would like me to add and send to you as a gift for purchasing this bundle this month. Here is my hostess code. If you would like to place an order, I would really appreciate your business. Please use this code if it is under $100. If it is over, under $150. If it is over $150, then you should place the order yourself because you will get hostess benefits for your order. So please use this hostess code. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's put this book away. Let's put our stamp set away and let's get to stamping. So let me get my supplies out here and we will get going. So the first card that I'm making, I'm going to admit the week kind of got away from me. And so last night I was at my mom and dad's for dinner. And the whole time that I was sitting there, I knew I had to come back and design these cards yet. And it was my mom's birthday this week, and that's why we were there for dinner. And she showed me some of the cards that she got. And she has some friends that stamp. And one of the cards that she got was very simple, but it was very pretty. And it wasn't a Stampin' Up! Card, but I loved the layout. And so when I got home, I had in my mind, as soon as I saw that card, what I was going to do with it. And so I made a couple of cards like it, and one of them I'm going to be making today with you. So we are going to start with a card base of Purple Posy, and this measures 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. You also need, for the inside, a layer of Whisper White. Good morning, Sandy. That measures 4 by 5 1/4. And again, that's going to be your inside panel. And we'll do a little stamping on that as well. You are going to have a panel, another panel of Purple Posy that measures 4 by 5 1/4. This is a lot of layers, but super simple. Then a Whisper White that's 3 3/8 inches by 4 5/8 inches. DSP of your choice. I'm using from the Playful Patterns. I think that's what it's called. 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. This is in the annual catalog, but you could choose any DSP, and I'll show you another one that I made with the hydrangea paper. This is 2 3/4 inches by 4 inches. You are going to have a little strip that measures 4 inches by 5/8 of an inch, and then you will need a little scrap of Purple Posy. So I'm going to go ahead and set some of this aside, and we are going to go ahead and start stamping. So I'm going to, first of all, fold my card base, give it a good burnish with my bone folder. My bone folder is very loved, and it's got all kinds of things on it. But that is the first step. Then what we are going to do is we are going to run this 4 by 5 1/4 Purple Posy through the Tasteful Textile embossing folder and through the magic of TV that I already have done for you. And so this is just going to be attached to the top. Now, I think I mentioned this last week, or I might have mentioned it in my stamp club. I don't like to emboss the front of a card. I feel like if I emboss the front of a card, it makes it a little bit weaker. And so I always emboss on panel that's just a little bit smaller than my card, because then it just seems like it's a little bit firmer. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue here. And again, when I'm adding an embossing folder or embossed layer especially, I really like to use liquid glue. It kind of gets in all those little crevices of the embossing folder, and that is our start. I'm going to set this aside, and we are going to take this 2 3/4 by 4-inch layer, and we are going to do some stamping. I'm also going to take my inside layer because that as well has a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to put those on here, and we are going to stamp on those. So I am using from that Dandy Wishes, I'm using this single flower. We are making a sympathy card today, and I have found, and I think that when I make sympathy cards, I like to make them very simple. The reason I like to make them simple is because, first of all, I don't feel like you have to be real flashy because of the purpose of sending the card. And I think simple sometimes is best, especially when you're talking about sympathy. Now, we don't have Purple Posy ink because of it was sort of recalled and hasn't come back. We do have Purple Posy Stampin' Blends, but for stamping purposes, I'm going to use my Stampin' Right marker. And I am just going to color in with the broad tip. I'm going to color in the top of this flower. This was super easy to color in. And exactly what I wanted to do because I wanted to have my stems a different color. So I'm using Pear Pizzazz. On my sample, I had used Seafoam, but I felt that that was just a little bit light, so I switched it up a little bit and went with Pear Pizzazz. So after I do that, I just like huff on this a little bit, just to get it nice and moist, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp that down. Now, I didn't get a really great image right there, but that's okay because I'm covering that up. I really wanted to just get this bottom layer, and I wanted to have a little something behind there. I'm going to stamp this again on the inside of my card just to bring that flower in. Now, I could use some DSP if I wanted to on the inside, but I felt I really wanted to have this little flower on the inside as well. Whoops, I think I'm getting out of the screen here. Sorry about that. When I huffed on it, I think I set it down outside of my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp right there as well. And then I'm going to also put a greeting on the inside. And because I didn't have Purple Posy stamp pad, I am again going to just run my marker over this greeting and make sure that it all gets colored in. And again, I'm going to huff on it, and that's going to be for the inside of my card. I just love that, wishing I could heal your heart, because when someone's going through a difficult time, isn't that exactly what you want to do, is to heal their heart? So I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to work with this one a little bit. With my scrap, some of the dies in those Dandy Wishes, or that Dandy Wishes die set, are these flowers. There's 3 different sizes of them, plus there's also one that's a different size that has actually a stem on it as well. I just wanted to cut these 3 little flowers, and I wanted to layer them on top of the stamped flower that I had. So through the magic of TV again, I have those done. Now, I also felt like it needed a little something to these flowers as well. And who doesn't love a little bit of Wink of Stella? I actually had one in my little container here. So before I put these on here, I'm going to Stella these flowers and just add a little bit of shine. And I don't know if on the camera you can see the shine, but it just adds a little something to the card, and it's not overdone with dumping a whole bunch of glitter on it, but it's it's a very subtle shine. And so I love me some Stella. I am going to, good morning, Shanna. Hi, Doris. Trying to keep up with the comments, but I'm also trying to keep stamping. So if I don't say it, I'll come back later and I'll comment after the live. I'm going to just go ahead and attach that with some glue in the center. And I don't know if you can see that little shimmer or not, but it is shining. The second layer I am also just going to add with a little bit of glue. And I'm going to just kind of overlap that a little bit there. Press it down good in the center. And then this last one, of course, I'm going to pop up on a little dimensional, because we have to always give our stuff a little bit of dimension. And I'm also going to kind of, with my finger very gently, sort of bring that center one up a little bit and knock that right in the center. I felt it needed just a little bit of something in the center, and we have these beautiful pastel pearls, which I think are on back order right now. Oh, I know, right? But these pearls looked beautiful in the center of here. There's this light, it looks like it's purple posy. So I just took one of those and I added it right to the center of that flower. It just added a little something to that. Okay, we are ready to do some of our layering. So I am going to take the DSP and I am going to add that to this layer of white. It just, putting the DSP right on there, you could do that. I just felt like that little extra 1/8 of an inch, it's actually a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, just gave it a little bit of pop. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this DSP to that layer. Again, I like liquid glue because it gives me a little wiggle room. All right, and then I'm going to add my stamped image to the top of that. I don't think you can hear it, but Lila is crying right now because she wants my attention and you are getting it. She stopped barking, but now she's whining and crying because she wants me to pay attention to her. We're going to go for a W-A-L-K later. I can't say that word or she will start barking again. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and add this to the front of the card. And while I'm adding layers, I'm going to go ahead and take my inside and I'm going to add that at the exact same time. Might have to send Lila off to a babysitter in the morning when I do my Facebook Lives, because every time I do anything and I'm talking to someone else, she all of a sudden gets jealous. So, all right, we had our strip of paper, and on this we are actually going to emboss, heat emboss. So I'm going to get my white embossing. I'm going to get my Versamark, and I'm going to use that Sorry for Your Loss stamp that is in that Heal Your Heart stamp set. I'm going to ink that up. This is hard to do over the top of a camera to try and make sure I have it straight. Do my best. All right, looks okay. I'm going to open up. I'm going to close this first. There's a lot of stuff in my white embossing folder. I've got some dimensionals. I got to clean some of that out, but I'm just going to lightly throw a little bit over the top of that. Okay, there is my Sorry for Your Loss. You can probably hardly see that. I would heat emboss that right now, but you do not want to hear my heat emboss tool on the camera because it is way too loud. So again, through the magic of TV, I have that heat embossed. I will heat emboss the other one a little bit later. All right. It needed a little something yet, so I'm going to bring in my banners, pick a punch. And I think I'm going to do, instead of the inside banner, I'm going to do the one that goes the opposite way. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, I like the soft colors too. I have one that's got a little bit brighter colors that I'll show you because, like I said, I made 2 of these last night. Then I couldn't decide which one should I do for the Facebook Live. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch this. I love purple, and so, especially when I'm stamping, and so I picked this one to do today. Maybe you'll look at it and say, boy, she really should have done that Rococo Rose one because I thought that one was prettier. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this back in. This is just going to be raised up on dimensionals across the front here. So I'm just going to take a couple of my dimensionals, throw them on the back. That's why I didn't raise up any of the other layers, because I really wanted to raise up this greeting. And that's gonna, actually, I want this to go up a little bit. There we go. Want to see a little bit of that white on the bottom. And then I felt like, oh, it still kind of needs something. So this Dragonfly's Punch has this little baby dragonfly up here. And I was like, yep, that's what it needs. So I went ahead and punched one of those. And again, needs a little Stella. So I'm going to throw a little wink of Stella on there. And going to just put, again, I'm going to try to raise these wings of the dragonfly up a little bit, and then just add a little bit of glue down his body so that his wings can kind of stand up. Just going to set that there on the card. And just like that, we have a sympathy card that's ready to go in the mail. Pretty simple, but here's the Rococo Rose one. So which one do you like better? Do you like the Purple Posy? Would you have picked the Purple Posy, or would you have picked the Rococo Rose? I was having a really, really difficult time deciding which one I wanted to make today on live. I kind of went with the Purple Posy because, like Kathy said, it was a little bit softer color. And because it was a sympathy card, I felt that that kind of fit the need. But I think that the Rococo Rose is not like it's Magenta Madness or anything like that. It's pretty light, but I thought that both of them were really pretty. And this was from an idea of a layout that I saw at my mom's yesterday for a birthday card, and I just redid it and made it a little bit different. Oh, good. You guys like the purple one too. I did too. I thought it was. The Rococo Rose paper is from the Hydrangea, the back of one of them. And actually, if you flip this one over, on the other side, I think I have a little piece here, is a different kind of purple. So this is pretty similar to that, but this actually, this was really close lines. This one was a little bit more spread out, a little bit more muted. This matched better, I thought, with the Highland Heather, and this one better with the Purple Posy. So I went with the other one. Oh, a lot of you like the purple one. Oh, thanks, Kathy. She said both of them are beautiful. Yeah, I did like both of them. So that is card number 1 with this set. And I'm going to go ahead and get card number 2 and get all this stuff out of here. Anyone have any big plans for their Saturday? I really have to clean my house. It needs it really bad right now. And so I have dishes to do, I have laundry to do, I have all kinds of things that I have planned for today, along with doing some stamping. I will get all of these dimensions up on my blog, as well as on this Facebook post, so that you have. Oh, Julie, you're getting your hair cut. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yes, Becky, I'm watching the Packer game too. I might stamp during the Packer game. I feel that relieves some of the stress that I feel when I'm watching them. I'll have the game on in my stamp room and I'm stamping. Oh, Kathy, I got to clean my kitchen too. We got a lot of things going on today, don't we? All right. Here is our next card. Oh, Lila is still crying in the background, you guys. I feel so bad right now, but She will get all my love and attention the rest of the day. I promise. I am a good dog mom. All right, here is the next card. This is, again, quite a few layers. This is Bumblebee, and it's 5.5 this way by 7, and it's scored at 4.25. So this is going to be a fun fold. I couldn't find really the name of this fun fold. Everywhere I looked, everybody called it a fun fold, but they didn't give it a name. One used, instead of, they used a die across here, and then they called it a hinge card, but I really could not find a name. But that is our first layer. We have lots and lots of layers here. This is Mossy Meadow, and this is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's 4 1/8 inch by 5 3/8 inch. And it looks like I did not cut that correctly because it should be smaller than this. Let me double check. Either my card base is a little bit off or that was a little bit off. So there we go. I trimmed that up a little bit. I also have a Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4. That again is just a little bit smaller than that. That's going to be layering on there. I have another piece of Bumblebee that's going to be attached on the side here to make this our fun fold. And that measures 4 1/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And it's scored at 1/2 inch on the 3 3/4 inch side. Oh, my mom's saying she's going to take Lila next week. She is fine. So here's my 3 3/4 inch side. This is a 1/2 inch. I have, this is some of the paper that goes with that Dandy Garden suite. I have one layer. Oops, that's 3 by 4 inches. You don't need that other one. This one is 2.5 by 5 1/4. And then we have some other layers of Mossy Meadow, 3 1/8 for on top of that one by 4 1/8, and 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. There's a lot of math in there. Can you tell I was a math major in college? I don't know how many of you know that, but I was a math major. That is a lot of math. So we're going to go ahead and start putting this together. I am going to start with the stamping. There's not a lot of stamping on this card, believe it or not. There is a little bit on the inside layer, and there is a little bit on this layer, believe it or not. So when I was making this card, I was really thinking I wanted this on the front to go along with that. But then I was like, how am I going to attach my greeting, all this other kind of stuff. And as I was looking through that paper, I'm like, I could stamp right on that paper because it's light enough. And so that is what I am going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get my stamps out. I'm going to use the thank you that was in that, or that is in that Heal Your Heart set, which I love the font in that set. It's so pretty. And I'm just going to stamp that along, let me move it up here so you can see, along the bottom here with Mossy Meadow ink. Oh, good thing I got it straight. All right. Isn't that the thing? This can be flipped. This cannot. I'm going to have to cut another piece of that. Yep, I'm going to cut another piece. Give me a second. This is why I close my stamp sets, and then this time I closed it right on there. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Just like that, I got another one. There we go. And I got to open this back up, and I'm going to be a little more careful this time. Has everyone done that? Oh, I hate it when I do stuff like that. Again, I'll move this up in here so you can see it. Now, I'm not going to throw this away because I could use this piece of paper on something. So I'm going to keep it no one's going to be able to see the back if I use that piece of paper. All right. I'm not going to close that because I need that. I'm going to take my inside, and this is one of the stamps in that stamp set, and I'm doing it a little bit over to the right because, and I'm not doing real well with this card, am I? Let me cut another one of those. I'm stamping it off to the side because I am going to add, it looks like I have a piece of ribbon in my ink pad. I'm going to have to get that out of there. I am going to stamp the flower that is in that set, this multiple flower. I thought that was so pretty. And I'm going to stamp that in Bumblebee rather than in the Mossy Meadow. I just want it to be really, really faint. And I even want it to be off the card a little bit, off to the side. That's going to be my inside of my card. All right. I think I'm done with all the stamping, and I can put all of these, the ink pads out of the way so that I don't knock anything else into ink. Okay, this is going to be attached to my 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch layer. So that's going to be attached to that. And then this is where you have to be careful. I don't want to attach this right away to the inside. Okay, it would seem like, oh, you got to attach that to the inside. I want to hide that little hinge. Hey, Jody Peterson, how are you? Hope you're doing well in Indiana. So this little piece right here, I want to attach to this before I attach it to my card. Because if I don't, I'm going to have to attach it to the end and then, or to the back, and then you can see it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a strip of glue on this little tab. And then I am going to try to make that so that it's even on the top and the bottom. And give that a good press. Right? Now I can attach that. I'm going to add a little bit more glue down this side here where I have that hinge. I think that's why people were calling it a hinge card, because it kind of hinges on the side. And I'm going to attach that to the inside of this card. Make sure that that's down good. You can probably hear Lila crying in the back. I'm sorry, I really am a good mom. All right, I am going to attach this designer paper to this layer, and that is going to go on my front. And again, I'm just making these so that that green peeks out just a little bit, but doesn't overtake it. And then that's going to be attached to the front of the card. I think I might have cut this a little bit shorter than I was supposed to, because it looks like it's not, it's barely fitting. I think I might have need that to be a little bit longer, but it's working out okay. All right. This is going to be attached to the Mossy Meadow. Lots of sticky notes here. I like to do that so that you can see it. If you want, if you go back, you can actually see the measurements. I will also, like I said, I will be typing them in the description after I'm done here this morning. Oh, thanks, Denise. Yeah, I like these colors too. I was kind of trying to debate what color I wanted to do. I'll show you a card that I did for a swap, and I wanted to just use that style. I didn't want to use the exact same papers because I wanted to do something a little bit different. And then when I saw the yellows and greens in here, they're not the colors of the Packer, but they're pretty close. And I thought, well, it's Packer Day today, so we are going to use that. Now, for the front of this card, I wanted to use the dragonfly. And so what I did was, and I don't know if I have through the magic of TV, if I have one cut here. I have all my, oh, yep, I do. I used this circle, the scallop circle, and I cut that out of the mossy meadow. And then I used my 2-inch circle punch. Just gonna cut a piece of Whisper White from that. And I felt like it just needed something, this Whisper White did. And so what I did, and now move things out of the way when you do this, because you do not want to get this over your card, but I'm just going to flick. So I'm just taking my Stampin' Write marker, and it's flipping a little bit more up there, and I'm just gonna flick some of that bumblebee ink kind of splattered on that circle. That's a 2-inch circle. And then I'm going to attach it to my scallop circle. And then that is going to be attached to the front of my card. And it's going to go right up there. Right. Then also in this stack of paper, we have these beautiful dragonflies in all different colors. And so there is one here in this mossy meadow. And believe it or not, that dragonfly punch that we have will punch those out perfectly. So you can either stamp the dragonfly with the stamp, or you can get the paper and you can punch out the dragonfly just like that. Now, I think it's really cool because of the nature of a dragonfly to also punch one out in vellum and layer that behind the one that I have stamped or that I punched from the paper. And again, because of when you look at a dragonfly, it's kind of like glassy looking on their wings. I am going to Stella, we'll put some Wink of Stella on the wings of this dragonfly. A little bit more there. There we go. And I'm also going to do it on the vellum so that it sparkles a little. You don't want just a little bit of sparkle, right? Okay. Again, I'm going to sort of fold his body or his wings in from his body. I am going to use a little bit of glue down the body of the dragonfly to attach him to that vellum. All right. And then I'm going to attach him to this card. Just a little bit of glue down the center. Yeah, the dragonfly paper is pretty awesome. I love it. You do need it. All right. And then just to give it a little something, I'm going to take one of those ladybug trinkets and I am going to add that just to the little corner here. You could also add it on one of these little flowers. And there is our Fun Fold card. Thank you. Your acts of kindness are like a breath of fresh air. Who wouldn't like to get that when they do something nice? And I find that there are so many people in this day and age that are doing so many nice things. This was the one that I made last night. I used the bumblebee dragonfly instead of the mossy meadow one. And this was the card that I had made in a swap that I was like, okay, I want to use that fold, but I want to do something different. So I had used the coral colors, the Calypso coral in this one because of the coral that was in that paper. And I used the other stamp set for that one. I really wanted to try to keep as much as I could with just the Dandy Wishes to show you what you could do with that die set and with the stamp set. So the only stamp sets that I used today were the Garden Wishes. There was that greeting that I had. There's the one stamp that I used and the second stamp that I used. I used the dies to cut out that flower in the sympathy card, but you could also use the dies to cut this out. You could use the dies to cut that out, or if you wanted to cut out one of those little bees and add it somewhere. So the Dandy Wishes dies. So if you buy this bundle this month, you will be able to pick out a celebration item. If you picked out Heal Your Heart, you could make all of these cards. Well, you would have to have the dragonfly punch. And you would, for me, you would get either the Mossy Meadow braided linen thread or braided linen trim, or you would get the butterfly or the ladybug trinkets. So if you buy this bundle this month, just know that you will be getting this extra gift from me in the mail as sort of a promotion to get you to purchase that. So let's take a look at all the cards that we did before I turn the camera around again. So we have this little fun fold thank you. And then we have our sympathy card in both the purple posy and the Rococo rose. Just using that Heal Your Heart set along with our Dandy Wishes. All right, I am going to turn my camera around. I don't know if I missed any comments. If I did, I promise you that I will go back and I will answer any of your questions that you might have. Again, if you place an order this week, you will be put in a drawing. If you have shared this Facebook Live, you will be entered into a drawing. And if you've made a comment at some point, you will be entered into a separate drawing. So there are 3 drawings. One will always be to win the cards that I made. Another one to win some sort of a either pearls or rhinestones or ribbon or something like that. And then the third one is usually some sort of a stamp set or something a little bit more substantial for those that place an order. So I appreciate your business. I appreciate your time. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you for taking a little bit of time. I didn't quite get it done in a half an hour. I'm going to have to say it's going to take me 45 minutes because that's 2 weeks in a row that it's taken me about 40 to 45 minutes to get through. But thank you for joining in today. Thanks for all of your comments and your support. I really, really appreciate it. And go Packers and have a great day.